Hello, it's Philip Taylor speaking from Richmond Green Chambers in London. This morning I'm looking at a book which we have reviewed and placed on the web and in the journals, and the book is a 2-volume work on revenue law and taxation. It's been written by James Kessler, who is well known to many of you for his work on taxation of non-residents and foreign domiciliaries, which is published on an annual basis, now in the 14th edition. This one is Taxation of Charities and Non-Profit Organisations for 2015 to 16, now in a 10th edition, and he's written it with Oliver Marr. So James Kessler, Queen's Counsel, and Oliver Marr. As I say, it's a 2-volume paperback work published by Keyhaven Limited. My wife Elizabeth and I have reviewed this work, and we've given it a title for our written review. Now in a 10th edition, the ideal reference for tax practitioners specialising in charities and the non-profit sector. Now let's just have a look at the book first of all. It's got a green cover. The other book, the non-residents and foreign domiciliaries, has got a blue cover, but this is the green cover. There's the front of it, there's the spine, and then there's the back. And you've got quite a lot of detail. It's a heavy book, runs to 600 odd pages. It's structured in a similar way to other publications. There's a very short index at the back, but at the front, there's the front page there. And then there's an introduction on what's new for this edition. And then obtaining further information, advice, and a disclaimer. It explains about who's written the previous editions. Then you've got the contents in brief. This is the way he structures this. And then you've got the contents in detail for volume 1 and then for volume 2, which is extremely helpful. There's a lot of information there. You can see from it that you'll be able to find things pretty quickly. Then you've got the table of cases. Then after that you've got statutes, EU directives and so forth. And then we get into the various chapters. Chapter 1, policy issues in charity taxation. And you can see from that you've also got quite a useful table of abbreviations, which is very helpful indeed. Now the book has actually got paragraph numbering, which you can see at the bottom there if you look carefully, and it does have some footnoting as well, which is quite helpful. If I open it in the middle, you can see some of the detail. This is charitable expenditure rules, for instance, there, and there are examples given of what you can do and situations you may be faced with. But as I say, it's a very important book, and in fact that's volume 1, and volume 2 is fairly similar, and the spine and then the back, and again exactly the same structure, just continuing the various chapters. And then right at the end you do have, as I say, a very short index, and then the front of it you've got the volume 2 part, and then you've got a repetition of what you've actually got by way of the contents in brief for volume 1 and volume 2. The main contents though are found in actually in volume 1 itself, so you may have to cross-refer to both volumes to find what you're actually looking for. This is what we say about the book anyway, and do have a look at our other review for his other work. The first edition of this now venerable and ever reliable work of reference was published over 20 years ago, which certainly attests to the high regard in which it's held by tax practitioners tasked with advising charities and non-profit organisations. Now it's here again, this time in a new 10th edition, which contains much additional commentary and analysis of the changes affecting charities that have taken place in the 2 years since the previous 9th edition was published. And you notice that the publication date is for the year 2015 to 16. Included are the references to the changes brought about by the Finance Act of 2014 pertaining to CASCs, to cite only one example. And as the 2 co-authors point out, there have been significant revisions to HMRC's guidance and also new guidance from the Charity Commission. This is a to some people, quite a controversial area because of the huge number, 15,000 odd, registered charities who don't pay tax. So you can see that it is a controversial area in terms of the political argument, if I can put it that way, apart from anything else. So this information is extremely helpful for anybody who's intending to set up and run a charity. Other sections of the book have also been rewritten with a view to providing closer and deeper analyses of new developments that are taking place. And I suspect there will be more in the course of this Parliament. Now, in this particular area of taxation, the problem of defining the word charity looms large, and it maintains a relevant problem area for many people. The issues tackled at the outset in the first chapter of Volume 1 and is revealed as less straightforward than rather complicated and rather vague. Nevertheless, the various tax reliefs for charities and for donors to charity are discussed in detail with the clarity and conciseness that is typical of this learned and authoritative work, which extends, of course, to the 2 volumes, both of which are about sort of 600-700 pages long. Yes, the book's lengthy, but all the better for that, as the subject matter is in fact very complex and requires the insightful and in-depth examination for which the co-experts are well known. Fortunately for the busy practitioner, these volumes are easy to use, and I say that because some books are not. This one I did find easy to open up and read. It's nice typeface as well, which always helps, and the content is of course first class, and you can find things actually quite easily. For example, the contents in brief is followed by the contents in detail section, which is almost 20 pages long, and that's in volume 1. Paragraphs are numbered throughout, the footnoting is extensive, and each volume has an index at the back, so whatever you're looking for, it's unlikely you'll have any trouble finding it, an important consideration when under pressure. Although targeted primarily at practitioners, this work has also been written with the lay reader in mind, whether tax specialist or not. You'll certainly acquire an impressively detailed understanding of the subject. Note that you're also provided with extensive research resources, including tables of cases, statutes and EU directives, that's statutory instruments of course as well, and HMRC manuals and Charity Commission publications. There's also a TOC online version of the book available free to anyone purchasing this current edition. Let me conclude by saying, as the authors remind us, it's the duty of charity trustees and their professional advisors to ensure that a charity's tax affairs are properly managed. Anyone professionally involved in this area of tax law should, without a doubt, regard this book as an essential purchase, and the publication date is cited as at the 31st of July 2015. I'll just show you the first volume again. Green cover, as I say, the front, the spine and then the back. There's not a lot of detail on the front of it, but as I say, just remember that the index at the back is actually a very short index, so you do require, if you're looking for things, the front page there, you do require to go directly, not necessarily to the contents in brief section, but to the contents in detail. And I think that's where you will find what you're looking for quite quickly. We just open the book up. Companies held by charities. Again, you can see the structure very clearly, paragraph numbering, footnoting and so forth. As I say, it is well set out. The text is nice and quite large, so it's actually reasonably easy to read. Sometimes you do get a text where the actual reading of it is not as easy as it might be. What I did like is the front of each of the chapters, you've got a very short little index, which is actually quite helpful, giving you the paragraph numbers. So you should be able to find what you're looking for pretty quickly. Anyway, thank you very much to James Kessler, Queen's Counsel, and Oliver Marr for an excellent 2-volume publication to go with their sister, his sister publication, James Kessler's. That's the non-residents and foreign domiciliaries area. We're very grateful to you. We do actually need this sort of publication to assist us in our day-to-day work. So on behalf of everybody who's practicing in this area, thank you very much indeed for continuing to give us such an excellent service with your thoughts and bringing everything together into the one area for us. It helps us immensely in practice. Thank you. Bye-bye.